Did you know that currently there's over 100,000 people in the US alone waiting for a kidney transplant? And what if you knew just one of those people? I'm Sarah Gammons, and I'm here to tell you 5 reasons why you should be a living organ donor. All right, so let's get started with reason one. This is actually a really cool story because I learned this 2 days before our surgery, and the surgeon came in and was talking to my husband, introduced himself, and he's like, you're actually saving two people's lives, not just your husband's. And I was like, I got all emotional. I was like, kind of tearing up. I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, when you are donating your kidney to your husband, you're removing your husband from the living donor list and therefore opening a new spot for someone else. That's kind of my favorite reason. That's why I put that as number one, because it was just such an unexpected joy to be able to know that and to realize that that could be someone else that we don't even know that was just next in line for that kidney transplant and that they would be able to get on that list. All right, so moving on to reason two. It's really something that you kind of find along the way as you're getting through this process. When you're doing all of your testing, you kind of start to realize that you're doing this whole thing for someone else, but actually you're having your liver tested, you're having your kidneys tested, you're having ladies, if you're going to the gynecologist, you're making sure everything's copacetic, and it's everything. There's so many things that are connected in your body that you don't realize that one affects the other. So you're going through this whole process to make sure that you're the healthiest person you can be. And so in the long run, this identifies as living kidney donors live longer and healthier lives. All right, let's get into number three, mental reset. This is a very rewarding and humbling experience. I personally feel that it grounded me, it brought me back to earth. And after just a lot of things that I had already been through in my life at only 29 years old, 28 around the time of the transplant, it really forced me to rethink how I perceived things in my own life. And those first few weeks of the transplant, I didn't think about anything. I didn't think about bills. I didn't think about chores. I didn't think about responsibilities. It was just take care of my body, take care of who I am right now. It gave me so much open space to work with where my mind was not clouded with social media and books and movies and all of these other things. Once things went back to normal, I went back to work, get back in the routines. It was just like, oh, wow, we have this change that's happened that's so drastic, but we're just right back to normal life here. But it's not the same. It's not back to normal. It's a whole new normal. And there's so much just gratefulness and relief. And I think that just really uplifted me during that time, even through the pain and the discomfort. Um, and I don't want to say that that was a lot because we'll talk about that too. But it was good pain. It was good discomfort. It was a gift in disguise, but very beautifully packaged. So let's move on to number four. I had to think hard about adding this one. I was not sure if this would be something everybody could relate to. Solidarity with your recipient. And kudos to the altruistic donors. I give my heart to you because that is just another level of giving a gift. And I don't know what that experience is like. And I would love to talk to you because anybody out there who has done this, I've only seen a few stories, but it's such another level of just wanting to give yourself to others. And I really respect that. So for me, my solidarity was with my husband as my recipient and going through all of that together. Then on the other side, once we went through the transplant and I started experiencing all of the little twinges of pain and not being able to sit certain ways and only having so much energy to walk around and these day-to-day things that were just not as easy, I suddenly sat there and realized that this is what he had been going through for so long. And it broke my heart because I could never be of any assistance for those things. There's only so much you can do to help a person when they're having something internally that you don't understand. And you can just sit by there and be support, but it only goes so far. We really learned to just look out for each other, and the end of the day came and we're both equally exhausted. So it was like this new level of just understanding each other and being able to say, I can't change the pain, I can't make it go away, but I can be here for you and I can understand and I can be supportive of that. So it's just a really cool little tidbit to be able to add that. All right, number 5, let's finish this up. Okay, so this is a really cool fact. If you are a living kidney donor and you end up having kidney failure later in life, or you're having some issues and you do have to put yourself on the kidney transplant list, you will be first. You go right to the front of that list. And this is even though your increased risk of kidney failure after being a donor only goes up by 1%. It's actually a little less than 1%. All right, so we've run out of time for today, but please let me know if there's anything else you're excited to hear about. I will try to make specific videos. If anybody has a request, please jump in the comments and let me know, and we will see you next time.